Football is full of moments of magic. But in the 2020-21 UEFA Champions League, Chelsea turned the impossible into routine. Against the disciplined Atlético Madrid, against the resilient Portuguese champions, against Real Madrid, the kings of Europe, and finally against the unstoppable Manchester City, they found a way, time and time again. This is the story of one of the greatest Champions League triumphs ever told. The 2020-21 UEFA Champions League began with excitement, pressure, and high expectations across Europe. Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, reinforced by key defensive additions like Ruben Dias. Bayern Munich, having just conquered Europe in dominant fashion, were strong favorites to defend their crown. Liverpool, led by Jurgen Klopp, were already one of Europe's elite, and they added a world-class playmaker in Thiago. Real Madrid, guided by Zidane, a coach who knew what it meant to rule Europe, were as dangerous as ever, and Paris Saint-Germain, haunted by heartbreak in the previous final, were ready to make amends, led by the brilliance of Neymar and Mbappe. For Chelsea, a spending spree and the arrival of high-profile signings like Kai Havertz and Timo Werner brought excitement, but also uncertainty. Compared to the giants around them, Chelsea were seen by many as underdogs. The squad was young and filled with academy graduates. Like his players, Lampard himself was still inexperienced, only in his third year of senior management. Critics questioned whether he could take the team to the next level after narrowly finishing fourth in the league the season before. What no one knew, however, was that this team was about to write history. Chelsea's campaign began in Group E, alongside Sevilla, Krasnodar, and Rennes. From the start, Chelsea showed flashes of what was to come. They opened with a hard-fought draw against Sevilla, a reminder that the Champions League offers no easy nights. Then the momentum began to build. A convincing win away at Krasnodar, another victory against Rennes. By the midway point, Chelsea looked in control, solid at the back, ruthless on the counter. They returned to Spain and dismantled Sevilla 4-0, with Olivier Giroud scoring all 4 goals in a vintage performance that stunned Europe. The group stage ended with Chelsea unbeaten, but despite securing top spot in their group, Chelsea's domestic run was anything but convincing. Results dipped, performances wavered, and the team slid to 9th in the Premier League table. Frustration grew, pressure mounted, and then it happened. Frank Lampard, the club legend who had led them through the group stage, was sacked. In his place came Thomas Tuchel, a coach known for precision, structure, and intensity. His arrival brought uncertainty and whispers of doubt. Could he really turn it around in time? No one knew then, but this twist of fate would change everything that followed. The round of 16 brought a clash of styles and spirit. Chelsea against Atlético Madrid, the eventual La Liga champions, known for their grit, discipline, and Diego Simeone's fire. Many believed Chelsea's young side wouldn't survive the battle, but on that cold night in Bucharest, the Blues proved otherwise. From the first whistle, Atletico pressed high, looking to intimidate. Lamar almost caught a dangerous cross. Werner's early chances tested Oblak, and Alonso fired from distance. Chelsea stayed patient, organized, waiting for their moment. Then, in the 67th minute, came the breakthrough. A deflected ball looped into the air, and with a moment of pure instinct, Olivier Giroud launched himself into the perfect overhead kick, the kind of goal that lives forever. 1-0 Chelsea. The underdogs had struck. Back at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea held the advantage but faced adversity. No Mason Mount, no Thiago Silva, no Tammy Abraham. The odds were heavy, yet belief was stronger. Atletico started fast, demanding a penalty that never came after Azpilicueta's tug on Carrasco. Moments later, Chelsea punished them. A swift counter, Timo Werner racing down the wing, and Hakim Ziyech finished the move with calm precision. 2-0 on aggregate. Frustration boiled over for Atletico. Stefan Savic saw red after an elbow on Rudiger, a symbol of how Chelsea had broken their spirit. And in stoppage time came the final blow. Christian Pulisic sprinted clear on the counter and squared it perfectly for substitute Emerson Palmieri. With his very first touch, Emerson smashed the ball home. 3-0 on aggregate. The bench exploded. Silva, Mount, all celebrating in the stands. Chelsea had announced themselves to Europe. Against one of the toughest defenses in football, they didn't just survive, they dominated. The first miracle was complete. Next, the Portuguese giants, the team that had shocked Europe by eliminating Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus in the previous round. Tough, fearless, and unpredictable, Porto were never easy opponents. Chelsea knew it wouldn't be simple. From the start, Porto pressed high, testing Chelsea's composure. But midway through the first half came a moment of pure class, slipped a pass between the lines, and Mason Mount, still only 22, turned brilliantly, leaving his marker behind before firing low into the far corner. His first Champions League goal, his moment of arrival. 1-0 Chelsea. Porto refused to back down, launching wave after wave of attacks. Chelsea absorbed the pressure, disciplined and patient. Then in the 85th minute came the dagger. A mistake from Corona, and Ben Chilwell pounced. He sprinted through on goal, danced past the keeper, and rolled the ball into the empty net. 2-0. A crucial away win. A night of control, resilience, and precision. In the second leg, Chelsea returned to Seville with one mission: to finish the job. Porto fought hard, pressing until the very end, but Chelsea stood firm. Then in stoppage time, Taremi produced something spectacular. A stunning bicycle kick into the top corner. A goal that would go on to win the UEFA Goal of the Season award, but too late to change the story. Porto won the battle, but Chelsea had already won the war, 2-1 on aggregate. For the first time in 7 years, Chelsea were back in the semi-finals of Europe's biggest stage. Another test passed, another step toward destiny. Then came Real Madrid, the kings of Europe, 13-time champions, led by the experience of Benzema, Modric, and Kroos. The moment was massive. Chelsea, a young and fearless side, facing the greatest dynasty in Champions League history. Few expected them to stand tall, but from the very start, they played without fear. In Madrid, under the rain at the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium, Chelsea struck first. In the 13th minute, Antonio Rudiger lofted a perfect ball over the top. Christian Pulisic sprinted clear, rounded Courtois, and finished calmly through a crowd of defenders. 1-0 Chelsea. A priceless away goal, but Real Madrid responded. In the 28th minute, Karim Benzema, the man of moments, smashed a stunning volley into the top corner. 1-1. The tension rose. Both teams traded chances, but neither could find a winner. The first leg ended level. Advantage Chelsea, but 12. Chelsea dominated from the start. Werner's early goal was ruled offside, but he stayed alert. In the 27th minute, Kai Havertz chipped Courtois brilliantly, the ball bouncing off the crossbar before Werner nodded home from close range. 1-0. Chelsea were ahead on aggregate. Madrid pressed, desperate to respond, but Mendy stood tall. He denied Benzema twice with world-class saves. Chelsea's defense refused to break. On the counter, Havertz hit the bar again. Pulisic went close. The chances kept coming. Madrid were hanging on. Then, in the 84th minute, came the moment that sealed it. N'Golo Kante broke forward, released Pulisic on the right, and the American cut the ball across goal. Mason Mount arrived perfectly. One touch, one finish. 2-0. Chelsea had beaten Real Madrid. They had silenced Europe's greatest. For the first time in 9 years, the Blues were heading back to the Champions League final. The world had doubted them, but this team, young, fearless, relentless, had done the unthinkable. Another miracle complete. One step left to immortality. Then came the final. Chelsea versus Manchester City. Two English giants, one stage, one dream. For Manchester City, it was history in the making. Their first ever Champions League final, led by Pep Guardiola, the master tactician chasing the one trophy that had eluded him in Manchester. For Chelsea, it was redemption, resilience, and a chance to rewrite destiny. Just 4 months earlier, no one believed this was possible. Now, under the lights of Porto, they stood one win away from immortality. From the very first whistle, the tension was electric. City pressed high, full of energy and intent. Sterling went close early. Foden nearly scored, only for a heroic block from Rudiger to deny him. At the other end, Timo Werner found chances, but his finishing couldn't find the net. Then heartbreak struck. Thiago Silva went down injured, replaced by Andreas Christensen. It felt like a cruel twist of fate, but Chelsea refused to lose belief. In the 42nd minute came the moment that changed everything. Mason Mount picked up the ball deep in midfield. With one perfect pass, he split City's defense in two. Kai Havertz sprinted onto it, past Ederson, and rolled the ball into an empty net. 1-0 Chelsea. The impossible dream was within reach. City fought back in the second half. De Bruyne drove forward until a brutal collision with Rudiger forced him off in tears. Aguero came on, chasing one last fairy tale. Chelsea covering every blade of grass. Mendy calm as ever. In the 72nd minute, Pulisic, the first American ever shot, rolled inches wide. The tension was unbearable. Every tackle, every clearance, every second mattered. As the clock ticked down, City threw everything forward. Crosses flew in, hearts raced, but Chelsea's defense refused to break. And then, finally, the whistle blew. It was over. Chelsea were champion continent. Players collapsed to the turf. Tuchel roared with emotion as Piliqueta lifted the trophy higher than a victory. It was of the match in both semi-final legs against Real Madrid and in the final against Manchester for the fewest goals conceded in a winning Champions League campaign, allowing just 4 goals in 13 games throughout the entire tournament, a cornerstone of their victory, with goalkeeper Edouard Mendy being a key figure. Throughout the entire tournament, Chelsea were only in a losing position for a total of 5 in-game minutes. Thomas to repeat what Chelsea did in 2021.